I'd like to welcome everyone to the Spokane Sangha and Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in this beautiful community. I'm so happy to be here today. And I'd like to share with you a sentiment of loving kindness with this little piece of artwork. This one on the back reads, "May what scares me be the place to practice honesty." May what scares me be the place to practice honesty. I'd like to begin our reflection today and our meditation today with an expression of gratitude and thanks. Yesterday, I asked this community to hold space for me as a human being, just like you. I was holding some very, very stressful things regarding one of my children we ended up having to go to the emergency room. She was having a terrible autoimmune response with full body universal burning, rashes, welts, streaking, very, very painful. It was really harrowing and scary. And my daughter is a cancer survivor. She had pediatric leukemia when she was 4. So her immune system is highly compromised. And so whenever anything serious like this happens, we're hypervigilant, we're frightened. It has this capacity to really throw me off the center of my life and my game, as you would all well imagine. And so I ask community to be with me, to hold my daughter and I, and to recognize that I, just like you, have so many stressful things in my life. And I get to access this practice as a way of keeping me grounded, keeping me centered. And I get to access you as a way of keeping me grounded, keeping me centered. Thank you. Um, the sentiments that you sent me, the kindness that you showed was so empowering, and it kept me grounded for my daughter for several hours. We didn't have to be admitted, which was beautiful. She's home, and she's resting. She needed morphine, and after morphine, just to see her smile after a week of struggle was really special. So thank you. And I'm sharing all of this with you because if you ever question, does my presence matter? Hear me loud and clear. I took every one of you into that emergency room with me, and it kept me centered and it kept me practicing. So when I was amped up, like, why is this taking so long, and about to get prickly with people who were doing their jobs, I stayed cool. Your presence matters. May what scares me be the place to practice honesty. There are two things that I would like to extract from that sentiment of metta and fold it into our practice today. The first is places that scare you. What scares you? And in our reflection today, see if you can find one. Don't make it the worst, scariest place. See if you can soften it a little bit. And then see if you can turn up the volume and find a second place that might be a little bit more challenging, and a third place that really evokes a lot of anxiety, and just hold it. If you have to hold it out at arm's length even, this is something that scares me. And that's all you need to do. And the second thing I'm going to pull from that sentiment of metta, of loving kindness, is the word honesty. That word is thrown around with great ease, isn't it? At least it is to me. And it's amazing how tempted I am to be dishonest. I'm fine when I'm not. It's one of my favorite disingenuous, dishonest, let's just be real, let's call it what it is things. I'm fine. I'm good. When I'm not. I'm so practiced, I never make mistakes. I'm never inappropriate or unethical or unskillful. Um, just ask my kids. They're honest teachers. So let's be real about that. Honesty's hard sometimes, especially when we're scared because we want to protect that image. I want to protect the image of myself that is zen, cool, calm, doesn't get angry, doesn't get my feathers aren't ruffled. That's an image I'm trying to project. And while it's true a lot of the time, it's not only an image, it is who I am. The truth is, my feathers are ruffled. My feathers get wet and scraggly. I'm a wreck and a mess sometimes. It ain't a pretty sight. And so I have to learn to examine my fear of allowing some of that armor, some of that protection to soften, to thin, so that the real me is seen and emerges. Now, if I'm being honest, why have I protected that vulnerability? Well, I've been hurt by people less skillful than I. They see my vulnerability and take a swipe or take a bite, and then I'm hurt even more. And so, of course, my psyche says, yo, vulnerability, it isn't safe. And I make that sort of a global statement, but it's a distortion because look at all the people here today. Every one of you has a measure of skill and therefore has the capacity, or at least the growing capacity, to hold my vulnerability with compassion and care, with curiosity and understanding. So I can risk pulling down that armor, pulling away that veil, showing you this is what I'm holding right now. And I'm scared, and I need help, and I need support. And if you have a thought that says, wow, I didn't think Julia, ever got ruffled, that's not mine to work through. That's your projection to work through. I'm asking you to see me in this moment. It's a beautiful practice, isn't it? And so the theme that we've been exploring for this month is wise speech. And I want to give you a couple of prefaces. The power of the preface is an instrument of peace that we use in Sati Seva as a way of alerting someone to the fact that I'm about to communicate a vulnerability. And I am asking that you be your best self for me. I can't be my best self right now, and I need help. So if you can be your best self, that will strengthen and empower and encourage me to find myself again. And it happens in a preface. My favorite is this one. I'm not doing well. Will you help me hold my feelings? I'm really anxious right now. I'm working with anger. I'm working with anxiety. Are you in a place where you can help me hold that? Now, why this is in the category of wise speech is it does a couple of things. One is it simply acknowledges with honesty my state of mind. I'm looking at my emotional landscape and I notice that it's anxious or angry or irritable, whatever it is. I acknowledge it, I label it, and I'm honest about it. There it is. And notice that I'm not judging myself for it. A judgment that can easily slip in would be, I know this is crazy and I know I'm such an idiot for, going through this, but I'm feeling really nervous. Those are violent little swipes we take at ourselves, and they add injury to pain. Insult to injury is the adage, right? Why? Why do that? It's so unskillful. It's so unkind. And it isn't even true. So it's dishonest. And so instead, we bring forward a little equanimity, a little balance of neutrality. Wow, I am holding a lot of anxiety right now. Some of it I think is rational, some of it I think is irrational. I need some help ventilating it. I need some help figuring it out. Are you in a place to help me hold this? So we've been honest about our feelings. We're also inviting and including others in. Now, if you're on the receiving end, this is tricky because what if you don't have the capacity? What if you're not in a place to hold someone's vulnerability? What if you yourself are feeling activated and stirred? What do you do? Well, if you're unpracticed, you're going to feel protective. I don't want anyone to think that I don't have the capacity. I don't want anyone to think that I can't help them hold their feelings. What kind of friend would I be? So, sure, I'll help you. But what's really going on behind that protective veil is maybe some empathetic distress, some fatigue, some annoyance, some resentment, some lack of presence, not really tracking, not really paying attention, because you're too busy thinking about your own activation. So, how do you address someone wisely, skillfully, kindly, if you're not in a place to support them? For me, when I've practiced with people and I haven't been in that place yet, I will say things like, "You honor me in asking me that. Thank you. In this moment, I'm actually maxed out. Could we come back in 15 minutes or in 30 minutes or in an hour, something where I can pull myself together and just do something kind for myself? I can clear the decks of my own mind and heart because I really want to be present to you. And right now, I've got a whole bunch of clutter that I'm working through, and I need a little bit of time. And then I will be able to be fully present to you." Wow. Honest. Standing before that fearful, I don't want somebody to see me as less than who I am. And what a beautiful exchange. Now, a word of caution. Practice with people you know are practitioners first. You don't want to just spring this on anybody. You want to practice. You want to get your feet wet. You want to work with people that you really trust and who know these nuances. and see where it takes you. See how it builds your confidence. See how it shifts the tone of your speech. See how honest you become. See how confident, courageous, and sincere. This is your true nature. And it's simply a practice to peel the layers of conditioning away to reveal your true nature, which is heart led. And this goodness, this innate goodness that has been within you since beginningless time. Chitta, heart, mind. That's your nature. It's my nature. So, enjoying a few moments of silence. What scares you? How honest are you with yourself about what scares you? What's the tone in your speech toward yourself when you reveal this? What's your capacity to recruit support? And if you're a support person, can you examine honestly your capacity, your abilities, and what's your wise speech? What's your capability of conveying your strengths, your limits, the real you? It's a practice, friends. I invite us and encourage us to be ruffled and messy and real and joyful and curious, steady as we go. Enjoy your practice. friends. Let's take a step toward the conclusion of this meditation with a simple breathing mantra. I'm going to put my hands in prayer pose at the level of my heart. And for me, what this symbolizes, this particular hand mudra, hand posture, is these are all of my positive qualities. These are all my negative qualities. And I tap my fingers together, keeping lots of space for the mystery of life to flow through and balance it all out. And then with my thumbs, I place this at the level of my heart. This is the center of compassion, limitless compassion. Breathing in, my true nature is magnificent. Breathing out, I see myself in beauty. Breathing in, my true nature is magnificent. Breathing out, I see myself in beauty. Breathing in, bowing deeply. Breathing out your sacred life. Breathing in, bowing deeply. Breathing out, Buddhas to be. Thank you, friends. So nice. Posted in the chat the link to Soul Center so you can review our website and see our schedule for our recovery Dharma practices Monday through Friday. And you can also see when we next meet for Satyaseva, which will be the third Sunday and third Wednesday of August. And Satyaseva, for anyone who's new, is a practice where we invite people in recovery as well as people who are in more supportive roles, family members, friends, people who are sober, curious, and so forth, to come and practice mindfulness. These are 16 mindfulness trainings that we've created specific to the issues associated with negative habit energy. And sometimes that looks like substance use, sometimes it's something else. All are welcome. Lo, on our website, Lo is also letting you know about our recordings. So they're freely offered. You can access them on the website. You can go to our podcasts. You can also go to our YouTube page and subscribe. We've got a ton of content out there. And again, may it be of service to your practice. We're so happy to share. On Saturday, tomorrow, we have a Reiki sound bath happening. It's only available online right now. Our in-person options are sold out. But if you're looking for an opportunity to experience something restorative, something rejuvenating, if you're finding that you're not really, haven't given yourself permission to rest, this is a wonderful, wonderful activity. And it's kind of ironic, right? It's an activity for rest. But it is a wonderful way of supporting this community as well as supporting yourself. And so check that out, read all about it. There's all kinds of things on the website, including our tokens of mindfulness. We have t-shirts and stickers and sentiment of metta cards, these things that are like the daily pools where you can read a sentiment of loving kindness as setting the intention for your day. Just all kinds of ways that you can support the Soul Center community and our mission of spiritual wellness. And with that, let's go ahead, friends, and end our practice with a dedication of merit. And may I remind you, if you have any questions or concerns, email me. I'm happy to engage. And uh, please send me your mailing address for anybody who wants a pen pal or anything like that. I'd love to keep in touch. All righty. I invite you to close your eyes. Whenever we come into the presence of Buddhist practice and principles, we are in the company of three jewels: the Buddha, who is the human being, the representative of somebody through dedicated practice, was able to gain enough understanding of his own causes and conditions of his own misery that he was able to lift others up and out of their own conditions of misery. He was so successful and so pristine and so wise about his capacity and his ability that we're still talking about it 2,600 years later. And his tradition was an oral one, thankfully. Hundreds of years after, people wrote it down. And so the second jewel is the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha that help us understand the conditions that cause so much misery and confusion in our own lives, as well as the conditions that can bring joy and transformation and healing. The Buddha stated very clearly that above all things, the one thing that really, really matters beyond all of his teachings, everything, was the community, because the community is where we encounter these teachings. We encounter them in other people and how the teachings come alive in individuals. We encounter other people as mirrors, as sources of projection, as challenges. So the Sangha was an impeccable jewel. We take refuge in these three jewels, which means we take shelter. We take a spirit of empowerment. We take rest, knowing that we are held, seen, loved. And in all of this refuge and all of this ease, we don't keep it just for ourselves. We make a very distinct intention to send it out into the world. So may the goodness that you've experienced here today land softly and brightly at the level of the heart. And may it in turn radiate out into the world, into your day. May it shine through your eyes. May it shine through your smile. And may you be an instrument of peace, walking and breathing upon this good earth. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, friends. Stay safe, stay smart, stay bright, and we'll see you next time. Namaste.